Good evening, everyone. The 25th Genius is back with another Webtoon review, and this time it is with the popular Webtoon I Love You. Now, I recently just caught up with I Love You, and it's been amazing so far. But I kind of don't want to talk about how the chapters have been as a whole. I kind of want to talk about one particular character and how this character kind of is like the puppet master, and she's been pulling all the strings. And she's personally like my favorite character in the entire webtoon because she is so intelligent. And that is Miss Hirahara, mother of Khillski and Noel. And what I really like about her character is how devious and how sinister that she actually was throughout the entire 2-3 arcs that she was fully present in the webtoon. And in this video today, I kind of am going to examine her character and kind of just discuss whether she's an antagonist or a protagonist. I kind of feel like she's an anti-hero, but that's going a little far ahead of myself. With that being said, let's start the video and let me talk about who Miss Hirahara is and how does she appear. So as I said earlier, Miss Hirahara is the mother of both Khillski and Noel and wife of their father, Mr. Hirahara. She appeared in the earlier chapters of I Love You, and she has quite an interest in Shinye. Just because I guess it's because of how unique she really is. So for the past 2 arcs, she has been kind of interacting with Shinye on a deeper level, and she's been setting her up in these weird and abnormal situations for reasons that may seem malignant, but honestly I feel like they were for the growth and development of all 3 of these characters, particularly Khillski, which I'm going to get into a little later within the webtoon. Now, do I think that Miss Hirahara is bad, or is she's really out for her son's negativity? I personally don't think so. I think quite the opposite. I think that she wants them to grow by being around Shinye, because again, Shinye is not what they normally are used to. Shinye is completely different. They are both all of them are in completely different worlds, and that's the one thing about I Love You that is so spectacular, that it's a love story about someone who is really poor while the others are really, really rich. And just that dynamic and just that mindset, if you don't really it's kind of a weird thing, but mindsets are different from people who are used to having a lot of money and for people that are not. And that's true just in our real world, and you see that a lot in this webtoon too, with Khillski especially, because he really is not in the same situation as Shinye, so his mindset is just a little bit different. He's about getting money, he's about being on top of his business, and Shinye is really about trying to survive and avoiding all things that would get in her way. And that's one of the main reasons why she's not so big on to love, because she has other things that she feels that she needs to focus on. But I ultimately think that Miss Hirahara is using Shinye as just this catalyst to grow her 2 sons, because she knows that they both like her. This is kind of obvious. Even Khillski, though Khillski has a weird way of showing it, and definitely with Noel, which is why he's so drawn to Shinye so much, even over his own girl. But Miss Hirahara knows all of this, and I ultimately feel like that she just wants them to grow. Now, the way that she's done it was absolutely spectacular, and I couldn't think of any more genius way that she's did all of this, but just herself. The whole tricking Shinye, the whole manipulating her sons, this was all part of her plan. This needs to be very clear. Even the rebuttal that her sons have, even the rebuttal of Shinye, I personally believe that it was all part of her plan, because she wants to be painted as the bad guy so they can focus more on each other, which I thought was it's kind of like self-sacrifice in a way, which makes her a really good and wholesome mother, just because she wants to sacrifice herself just so her sons will be happy. But I really haven't gotten to the main just why Shine. Why couldn't it be any other girl? And that's because Shine is unique. Shine is different. Shine is not rich. Shine is poor. And that doesn't mean that just because she's poor, she's different. It's because she just has a unique flavor about herself that resonates with people and people around her. In the later chapters of I Love You, I kind of see why Dieter, which I can't wait to talk to him about him in another video that I plan on making. But I like how you really see Shine's character develop and why Dieter likes her so much, because she's unrefined, she's very genuine, she's blunt, she's very direct, she doesn't put on airs, which honestly is very commendable on such a character who tries to hide everything around her. So my point is that Miss Hirahara sees all this in Shine, and she feels that she'll be a good match for her boys. Now, another interesting thing about Miss Hirahara is ultimately that no matter what you've done, once she's caught you in her web, no matter what you do, how you will go, even if you thought you've escaped, you haven't escaped. Everything that she's done to Shine, to Khillski, and even to Null has all been calculated in her plans. For example, we get to one of the arcs in which Miss Hirahara invites Shine over, just to talk, and I believe for some tea and whatnot. And she hides her stuff so that way she can stay longer, and so that way she can keep her son company. And then she spills tea, or I believe coffee, it's something like that, I'm sorry if I forgot, all over Shine's clothes, just so she can take off her clothes, so that way Khillski can look at the goods that Shine got, because he was enjoying that. But it was all part of her plan, so that way Khillski can get more closer to Shine. And though Khillski thought that he was winning against his mother, he was actually losing, because she wanted him to repel her. She wanted him to go more towards Shine, because that's all she ever wanted from the very beginning, because she wants them to get closer and closer together, which ultimately worked. And Khillski, I kind of like Khillski's character now, because he acts like he's not really into Shine, but he is very deeply into her to a lot of degree. And I kind of just like that, his development in the webtoon so far. Then we get to the second part, which is the more serious arc, which is around Miss Hirahara manipulating Shine into going to this party, so that way she can be a good date for Khillski. So what happened at this point is that Miss Hirahara is aware that Shine is in need of money. I believe she knows the causes why, but she also knows that she's in need of money. She's in need of a good job. And so she manipulates Shine into believing that Khillski did all those things for her, which furthers to manipulate her more to go to this party so she can repay Khillski back for all the things that he has done, which worked until the truth hit the fan and Shine got really, really upset, which again was all calculated into Miss Hirahara's plan. So they are at the party and she is conflicted, and you can see how conflicted she is with all of this, because she's out of her comfort box and she doesn't really know how to get back in it. But everything except for the drug, I don't think the drugs were a part of her plan. I think that's just an unexpected variable. But her main point in the past 2 arcs has been very clear. She wants her sons to get closer to this breath of fresh air and to be exposed to something new. And since she knows that they both like her, it just makes everything more and more. Now, finally, I will answer the question in my own opinions. Do I think Miss Hirahara is a bad character? No. I think that she is one of the better characters because not only was she very ingenious into setting up, Khillski and Null, with Shine, but also too, she's showing in my mind that she really does care and she's very supportive of her sons. I don't think any of her actions were malignant. I think they were only malignant so that way they can help grow the relationship between Shine and her sons. And the most interesting thing about her ideas is that she devised them to the point where once you entered her web, you were instantly trapped. And all the characters in her web have experienced this to a degree. But it's also kind of interesting, too, that the author is able to develop such an amazing and actually complex character, because it's really hard to devise a character such as this, especially on a piece of paper. And the author really captured Miss Hirahara really, really well. She captured not only the antagonist of her, but she also captured the protagonist, which again is really hard because those two really can't exist. They are two sides of the same coin, but she's able to master it with Miss Hirahara's personality and her actions, which I thought was very commendable, which is why I have to discuss it. But ultimately, in the end, Miss Hirahara was only trying to help her sons and not really hurt her sons. And I believe, and I don't care what anyone says, I believe that that was the case. But yeah, that is the end of my video. Miss Hirahara is a great character. I hope you see her potential as much as I do. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and a subscribe, and make sure you heart the chapter because that helps. A little tired. That helps the creators a lot. With that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.